Hey guys, Robert Roy from WealthBuildersHQ.com here. The holiday season is upon us. This means that traders are starting to wind down and lock in their last profits of the year. So as the year comes to a close, what should traders be aware of during the holiday season? Coming right up. So let's talk about what to expect during the end of the year. Does the market usually close on a high, on a low? Where does it tend to go? Well, the end of the year tends to bring something called a Santa Claus rally. You may have heard a little bit about it before if you've been trading any sort of time. Santa Claus rally is we're all happy, it's good feeling type mode, and markets just generally tend to move higher. Not crazy higher, but they tend to move higher into the year end. Right? So that's a typical thing that we see there. Now, with that being said, whatever can happen will happen. Don't guarantee that the market's going up. Look at the chart, determine what the chart is telling you, and make your decisions based on that. But for the most part, we tend to move in a higher direction on the year's close. If you look back to last year, we had this crushing year in October and November, and we started a major growth spurt coming right out of that last week or so of the market into the beginning of 2019 and beyond as we saw that growth take place. Now, some other things to be looking for is you might see some changes in volume. See, as traders are winding down, as we said earlier, there's going to be less and less traders out there. I'll give you a great example. I tend to take, for the most part, the last 2 weeks of the year off. I don't do a whole lot of trading, and if I do, it's primarily day trading. And that's because I just have some time on my hands. Let me just jump in, kind of keep up with the markets. But there's so many holiday parties going on, and there's so many people taking vacations, and all of this stuff there, the volume tends to be lower. And with that lower volume, I don't want the major market maker, took off for the day and left the trading floor in the hands of a couple of junior market makers who are trying to make a name for themselves. So they're whipping price up and down in there, trying to get some direction, see how much money they can make, right? So with that lower volume, that year coming to an end, just be cautious of the lower volume. Please do not take that as you can't trade. You can trade. I make the choice that I don't want to go through and do it, right? I trade 50 weeks a year minus whatever time we take for vacation, right? So I don't need to trade that last 2 weeks. I take some of that holiday time off, and you should consider it as well. Now, when should you be out of your options trades? That question really lends itself to where are you, what stage are you at in your options trade? In other words, do you just get into a trade on the 23rd of December, assuming it's a weekday, of course, right? That may not be the smartest thing to do. Might not be. It depends what the chart and the pattern look like. But if you have a stock that you have entered into an option, let's say, and we're just going to use Apple as our example. You could use any stock in its place. But let's say it's Apple that we're referring to. And you've bought an option on Apple 3 weeks ago. And you originally bought 10 contracts. You've sold off 8 or 9 of them already. You've got 1 left. And you're saying, well, the year end is coming. Do I want to pull out of that trade? You know what? I'm not too concerned with the profits that are in that one last contract that I may get it to go against me, because if the Santa Claus rally does happen and we get that rock and roll effect taking place, you could crush it on that very last contract. Right? The strategies that we teach in Power Options Plays, we have a 4-exit system that we use where we scale out in 4 different stages on our trades. And we just went through one, which you'll see a video coming up on that on Instagram where we'll be going through that. But we just went through one of those where the last contract made more money than the first 9 did, right? That's the whole key, is can we get that rock and roll to happen? Can we get that big burst? Can we get that big move on the options trade? So when should you be out of your options trades? Where are your options trades at now is the question that you have to answer first. If you're just considering a trade, be cautious. If you're already in a trade for a couple of days, couple of weeks, and you've got some of it left, I'm not as concerned because I've got some profits locked in. All right, so what about the market closings, right? We've got the holidays coming up. You've got Christmas, New Year's, Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve. Where are we closed? When the market has Christmas on a weekday, we are closed for that day, same as New Year's. When we have the weekday is Christmas Eve, Christmas Eve, right? We are closed at 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. Eastern, right? New Year's Eve, we're open the full day. So bottom line, Christmas Eve, 1 p.m. Eastern, we're closed. Christmas Day, the market's closed. New Year's Eve, market's open all day. New Year's Day, market is closed. Now it's time for the question of the day. Did you grow your account as much as you had hoped in 2019? Let us know in the comments section below. If you didn't, be sure to join us for Power Hour each and every week, where we review the S&P 500, the candidates you want to look at, and everything else that's going on in the market. And I'll put a link to the description down below. And as usual, if you like what you heard here today, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit the bell to keep up with our best trading content. Until next time, make it a profitable day. Stay focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it, and we'll see you at the next video. Folks, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and click the subscribe button so you can follow along with all of our great content, and ring the bell so you never miss anything new that comes out. And folks, with that down below, we've got a couple of other videos for you to choose from that you can watch from our materials.